The careful walls of forging he'd built around himself were cracking, and through the cracks came something he'd been refusing for a long time. He wasn't a skeptic in a haunted house. He was a guilty man standing in the middle of what he'd broken. The house hadn't brought him here to destroy him. It had brought him here to make him remember. The watch ticked on. The shadows closed in around him, and Elias finally closed his eyes and let the dark in, listening to the sound of the time he'd spent trying so hard to forget. Elias lay on the cold floorboards, breathing in short, shallow pulls. He waited for the worst, the screaming, the tearing apart. But the shadows just shifted slowly. The ticking of the pocket watch eased. The fronting edge of softened into a deep, steady rhythm that settled in his chest. The noise in his head began to quiet. The shadows on the wall stopped reading and went still. Elias opened his eyes. He pushed himself. His movements were slow, but no longer panicked. He looked at the pocket watch on the table. The hands were no longer frozen. They were moving, but not forward. They were sweeping backward, tracking back every second he'd spent running from the memory of the rain-soaked road, the screech of tires, the silence that came after. As the hands moved back, the rotting grandeur of the master bedroom dissolved. The peeling wallpaper, the dust, the smell of mildew, all of it came apart and fell away, showing something raw underneath. He breathed in, and for the first time in 20 years, the air didn't taste like ash. He was standing on the edge of a country road, black tarmac, slick with rain, lit by the flashing amber of emergency lights. But he wasn't on the sideline this time, wrapped in a shock blanket. He was standing in the middle of the crossing. The rain was cold and real against his skin. The wrecked car sat before him, its metal pulsing with a faint glow. The old tree at the roadside still bore the scar where the metal had met the wood. The water was gone. For 20 years, guilt had rewritten this moment. He had filled it, darkened it, drowned everything in it. But this was the memory as it had truly been. The road, the rain, the wreck, nothing more than that. He had taken something real and buried it so deep beneath what he believed he deserved that even his own mind could no longer find it. He moved toward the driver's door. The silver watch in his hand burned with a heat that didn't hurt anymore. He reached out and touched the broken glass, bracing himself for blood, for wreckage, for the blank eyes that had followed him through 20 years of bad dreams. But as his hand passed through the frame, where the crushed bodies should have been, where they always were in his nightmares, there was light. His father sat in the passenger seat. His mother and younger sister sat in the back, not trapped, not broken, They were made of light, shifting quiet geometries of warmth and color. His father dark blue enveloped with whiter blue, his mother amber soft and deep, his sister pink bright and flickering. They looked at him with a patience so complete it broke him open. Elias dropped to his knees on the spectral road. The sobs arose from somewhere buried deep inside him, thick with grief. I looked away. I should have been watching. I let you go. The figure of his mother leaned forward. The amber light washed over him. No sound came from her mouth, but something resonated straight to him. Not a voice, but an understanding, vibrating in his bones.
We did not want you to watch. We wanted you to look away. That is why you closed your eyes. That is why you survived. Do not call your survival a sin.
Elias shook his head. The story he'd been telling himself that he deserved to suffer bent under the weight of her words. But I left you. I'm here and you're stuck. The pink light of his sister flickered and danced, weak and playful.
Stuck means movement is possible, but blocked. There is no movement here. There is only what is. We are not trapped in the car, Elias. We are not trapped in the past. You trapped us there. You built a cage out of memory and grief and locked us in it. You visit us every night in your dreams and make us die again and again because you think you deserve the punishment.
Elias looked at his father and saw the quiet smile, the slight nod, the same reassurance he had known since childhood. It landed on him all at once. The house, the haunting, the entity in the dark. It wasn't a demon. It wasn't a ghost from the walls. It was his own refusal. His refusal to let any of this be over. Blackwood estate was just a place that had given his guilt a shape. He'd built a fortress to keep the tragedy alive, because letting go of it felt like letting go of them. He had spent 20 years treating the crash like something to worship, keeping the memory of their deaths fresher than the memory of their lives, turning them into a monument of pain, because pain felt like the only honest way to honor them. You're not the haunting. I am. He did not say it to them, he said it to the version of himself that had been standing at that crossing for 20 years. He had mistaken guilt for loyalty, suffering for love. He had needed somewhere to keep them, and pain was the only place that felt permanent enough.
Memory is not the person, brother. You kept living inside the moment of losing us and calling it love.
The lights began to fade, not like something leaving, but like something no longer needing to stay.